Hi, this is Odeean here. Today I'm looking at Figma 179 Space Pirate Cobra by Max Factory. This is my first official Figma. I've had some KOs before, so I'm not sure exactly how these go. The box looks nice enough, good for storage. On the back, a little bit of a rundown of what the character's like. Nothing super special here, so let's have a better look at the figure itself. For the purposes of the review, I've had to put this weird cardboard behind it, and that's mainly because my phone has a hard time focusing on small things like this, so I needed to get the background a little bit closer. But anyway, he's got a really fantastic sculpt. He's wearing this red matte jumpsuit, and I mentioned before I don't have any other Figmas, but the feel of this plastic is really good. We've got soft sections like in here where the hips meet the underpants section, for want of a better term, that mean that it bends instead of getting really in the way. So it's done quite nice, and I'm pretty impressed with the way they've pulled off all his articulation. He's got balls in the shoulders, swivel at the bicep, swivel. There is swivel at the elbow as well as the ordinary elbow movement, more than 90 degrees there. As I mentioned before, the hip has got a ball. If you pop it off, you can see how it joins on there, and it goes back on without too much difficulty. If you can just get it to expose itself like that. And he has a great range of motion at the knee. I mean, we do get this little ugly bump here, but it's well worth the sacrifice of having such a good, solid knee joint. The ankle, backwards and forwards, around, side to side, and then a little bit at the toe. So he's fantastic. Oh, and I missed out this forward shrug at the neck, as well as the head is on a ball. So the range of motion is superb and impressive. We get a wide selection of hands. So here's all the hands on this rack here. Pretty standard stuff, but some of the ones that do warrant calling out are the ones that I've already got used. So we've got a pistol holding hand. If we can just focus on it. This is his, looks like a revolver, and it's a fantastic looking gun, and he's got a hand to hold that with either side. And apart from the pistol, we have this little Zippo, or generic lighter. There's not Zippo written on it. With a flame, nice little flame. There's a hand on this rack to specifically hold that. So if I just pop it in, we've got this one here. So you can pull out whichever hand you choose and pop it on. Oh, actually, he can only hold the Zippo in that hand, but still, that looks pretty awesome. So he can light his cigar, or maybe the cigar of one of his lady friends. The cigar can pull out. So it's very difficult for me to show this because it's the tiniest of little pieces. There are actually two included in the set in case you lose one. And that's good, because if you did lose it, his face looks a little bit weird without it. You can see that hole where his lip is. Now you can pose him from the other side like this and not notice it as much, but definitely without the cigar being present, it does look a little bit wonky. So I like to just leave it in, and really it gives him kind of character anyway. While we're talking about the face, I will show this tool. So at first I wasn't 100% clear what this little tool is, but if you grab his head and split off the face like this, you'll see that on the back of where the eyes are, there are these little stems, and the tool that we have fits over the top of one of those little stems and moves around. And what that does is it gives you individual eyeball articulation, and it can be kind of creepy, but it does let you synchronize his eyes into some movements which look really good. Let me try and get one going here. So there we go, both eyes are looking off into the same direction now. So it's kind of like the purrs on more expensive Hot Toys, except scaled right down to these little guys. At first in the online pictures I had thought that he had replaceable faces, but I think this is far better than having replaceable faces. Although I guess we could have got different mouth positions had the face been replaceable, but there's nothing stopping them in a future release from giving you a different face with a different mouth position, I guess. Let's have a quick look at him holding his pistol instead of the cigarette lighter. Very big gun, nice, awesome gun. Apart from that gun, as I said, he was packaged with his psycho cannon, and this is it. So let's pop that on. We can just separate his arm at the bicep and plug a whole new arm module in. Psycho cannon. Now the psycho cannon is Cobra's kind of signature weapon, and as far as I understand it, he's had a lot of modifications to himself done. Now I don't know if that's surgery or what have you, but people don't actually know he's Cobra. But the minute he pulls out the psycho gun, it's kind of a telltale, it's a giveaway. Once the psycho gun's out, everyone knows exactly who they're dealing with. So he doesn't always pull it out, but once he has, it's a very powerful weapon. I think it can channel something about his soul or the power of his being into the gun. I'm not 100% clear. The figure does give us the option for an intermediate stage psycho gun. If I remove the barrel like this and then bring his arm down, we get a forearm unit. So it's got a fully removable hand. Any one of the hands can go on here, and if you look on the inside, there is no real tab, but what it does is hold on with friction over the end of the psycho cannon like that. And the reason that that is useful is if we grab one of these hands, maybe this one, you can pose him as if he's peeling back his own forearm to reveal the psycho cannon, because it's a kind of in progress. I guess the thought is that he would do that and then the cannon's underneath. Now, if you've got the right hands on, that one's probably not well suited to it. You could pose him just after he's pulled his own arm off with the psycho gun still on. I need a grasping hand, come on. There we go. So there we go, he's pulled off his arm, he's about to shoot you dead. Awesome. Let's have a little bit of a look exactly how high he is. Here's the ruler. His head comes up to exactly 6 inches. As a comparison with other figures that I've got, here he is with Robocop from NECA. So I don't have a lot of human figures in my collection. Mainly they're from NECA, I guess. So he doesn't really fit with any of those, which is a little bit disappointing. But given how happy I am with this, I think that that situation is likely to change. My final thoughts. I bought this, I think, roughly $50 to $60 from BBTS, and it's a bit more pricey than I would like for a 6-inch figure, but I'm really impressed with it. So I understand why Figmas have such a following. This is probably the best humanoid figure that I own. Just the whole range of its characteristics, from posability to the feel of the materials to the sculpt, is really fantastic. The size is not bad when you consider some of the alternatives as well. So I think I'll be picking up a lot more Figmas, so long as I have an affinity with the characters that they do. I'm not just going to get all of them, because some of them don't make a lot of sense for my collection, but definitely the Samus, that's because I was messing with it before, definitely the Samus and Link coming out at the end of the year. I have those on order, and one that I'm really excited for is the female robot that goes along with Cobra. I think her name's Lady Armor All, something like that. She's coming really soon, and I think she had another part for Cobra as well, although I'm not 100% sure what it is. I'm hoping it's an extra face. Anyway, I can highly recommend this. I'm pretty impressed with it. This has been my video review for Figma number 179, Space Pirate Cobra. I'm Odeean, and thanks for watching. Bom bom ch 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 doo doo bom bom ch ch ch. I really hope that they make some of Cobra's lady friends, because having those 3 sisters would be a really awesome situation to pose this guy with. and even some of his enemies. I like the movie. I like Space Adventure Cobra. I like the soundtrack by Yellow. I have that. And I would be really happy to see more figures in this line